right, as we come back on air, guys, let's take it back again. We're about to go on. 3, 2. And we're back. And with our new film in the 254 dubbed Lusala, it's taking the cinemas by storm. Can you imagine that the second screening tickets of this film already sold out in this year, Kenya 254? They said, oh, ni nanya nenaga coach ma movie ni sisi. Sisi ndo tunaendaga coach hizi ma movies. So sasa hii film, it's not shy to touch on topics that many shy away from, like mental health, domestic violence, incest, and going by the online reviews, this film is a must-watch. Today in studio, we have the cast, the director, who are going to tell us more about this highly praised film. Hey guys.
Hey.
If that doesn't get you like an Oscar, I tried.
Yes,
I did, didn't I? So starting from Brian, let everyone introduce themselves. Hey everyone.
I'm Brian Ogola. I am the star of Lusala. That's all I have.
Hi, I'm Alice Wangari, and I act as Joma, who's Lusala's sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm Wamboi Migai, and I am part of the camera crew on Lusala.
Okay.
My name is Mugambi Ntega, and I was the director of Lusala.
Sold out, Mugambi.
Yeah, the second screening was sold out. We just came back. We came from it right now.
Yeah.
And it's just not your family and your friends. Like you went, you confirmed there are people you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for real.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So this is the second screen is sold out as well. And the success of this is not was it shocking?
Yes. It's always delightful. You know, making a film is a very can be a really lonely process. Whether it's the writing or sitting in an edit suite with the editor for like 6 or 7 months. So to finally present your baby to the world and to have people actually show up, yeah, we all felt really good to see so many people at the cinema.
Yeah, I know, and I think I've always wondered for the star of the film if it's usually a lot of pressure. Like when you're told, all right, so it's you. Is there a lot riding on you? Do you feel like I am carrying this thing?
I mean, when it's a title film and the title of the film is also the name of your character, of course there's pressure. But there was a lot of collaborative effort on this film. You know, I don't feel like it's all on me. It might look like that on screen, but it was very collaborative. I had a lot of support from everyone on set too when we were shooting it. So there's that pressure, but I don't feel like it's all on me. I feel like we all put in the work and we made a really good film. Yeah.
Now, first of all, let's start by you telling us about your character.
Lusala is a young man in his 20s, early 20s. He was adopted by a family because of difficult circumstances in his life as a child. And he starts living with them and he comes of age. And just like any other guy, you're asked, so now it's time to move out. And when he moves out, he starts now dealing with his childhood trauma, and the things that were actually haunting him actually come out much clearer, you know, and as he goes through his arc as a character. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And how hard was it to tell the story?
This was probably the hardest character I've ever had to portray. But there was a lot of support from Mugambi, our director, from Brigitte Simmons, our acting coach, from the cast ensemble. You know, just like everyone just wanted me to do a good job, and in the end, I think it made all the difference. Yeah.
Now, let's just give it up for Wamboi, first of all. You guys, female DOP is such a big deal. It's a big deal.
It is. But the DOP was Emma Nzioka, and I was the focus puller.
Yeah.
So we worked under her and her guidance and how basically setting up the shots. And the good thing about this was that it was a heavily female crew.
That's true.
So it was exciting to actually go through that experience.
Yeah.
And you have a nickname.
Yes.
Where did it come from, and what is? I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's Bo.
Oh, okay.
Bo. It's short form for Wamboi. It's a childhood name that
Oh,
came
oh,
up.
so you guys from home.
Yeah, guys
and
from
then
home.
they just brought this uku now.
Yes.
What Boy is saying is
Yeah.
that she and her team, mostly female, had to carry that heavy camera around, and they were pros at it
Yeah.
completely. Like always hoisting this multi-million shilling contraption on her shoulder.
Yeah.
And focus pulling is not easy at all.
Yeah.
It's and she was really good at it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, in our field, like in MCing, sometimes as as women, you're told they already assume that you cannot have the energy as a guy. Do you also get that sense of dismissal when it comes to you?
In
They're
the,
like, "Ah,
begin-
it's a chick."
in the beginning when I started out, yes, definitely you get that back and forth of where guys doubt you and try to like make you feel like you're not worth that role or you're not able to perform that role. But slowly with time, you prove yourself and you put all the work and you just focus on the job and you don't really listen to what guys say. Because if you do, then you will never get to where you want to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And someone who doesn't really care or listen to what people are saying, I think it's Alice. Alice has done this for a while. She's acted, she's directed, she's produced, she's shot. Is it true?
In her dreams.
No, I was a film student, but no, this is my first role in a feature film, in a big feature film. So
Yeah.
that was pretty exciting. Yeah.
To try your arm in sort of like different things, where do you think your passion is at?
Right now, it's in acting. I think after being on Lusala and just being with such talented actors and being with amazing crew, an amazing director, it's just like, if you could get this chance as an actor, go for it. Yeah.
And how exciting was it? I mean, it's a big project. It's your first project. How was it to just sort of dream about this? Does it feel like a dream?
It was a dream. Wow, it was incredible, especially since it's been a year since it was produced. So after that whole really hectic 1 month, we all went like home, and then we came back to reunite during the premiere, and it was just like, wow, so many people, so much energy. It was really beautiful, and then the film was, I'm gonna say, really nice. So please come watch it. Yes.
Well, if you get any space at this point, surely. But Mugambi, how did you sort of like fit everyone's character, knowing people, previously and having worked with them on so many, numerous projects before this?
Yeah.
Was it easy? And why was Brian the adopted? Why did you see him fit in that role?
That's a good question. I've had the chance to work with Brian before. I had directed him on a stage play about 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah. And he was coming in. This was like your first professional acting gig, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's where our friendship sort of began. And so it wasn't a difficult decision to make to have him come for the workshop that preceded shooting. And when we were done with the workshop, we were pretty convinced that he was the right person for Lusala. I also got to work with Nkamze, who I first worked with 16 years ago.
Well, how incredible is
On
she?
Serafina. And she's amazing. Like
Good.
she lights up anything that she touches.
Yeah.
And a film is as good as many things, but if there's one thing that I have received consistently, one piece of feedback, the performances seem to just blow people out of the water, and which is a very proud thing to hear as a director.
And even for the actors, you know what I mean? Because you put your heart, your soul, your blood, sweat, and tears, and then people are just like, You're just like, I lost weight. Do you remember that time, like when 50 Cent lost all of his everything?
And then
Then
that
guys are
film.
just like, wow. That's that.
Come we clap for you.
You're like, you cannot do that to me.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, and as you talk about all of these legends and icons who are in the industry, who I think their talents till today is still understated, right, and underappreciated, and they're underpaid, I think. The other thing is they can't sustain their lives, not as many, doing this thing that they love so much. And after all of this time, I know there's still a struggle when it comes to, the consistent airing of local content all the time. But to not try, come on, to not try. But I mean, how does that make you feel? Mongo, you can take that.
It's right now things are looking up and more people are able to now produce more local content, but I feel we still need a bit more work in terms of concentrating in telling our stories, because we have so many stories out there that are not being touched, and we're so focused on, you know, the Western world and trying to replicate what they do, but we forget that we have our own stories and we have our own unique way of telling those stories.
In fact, speaking about telling stories, you're right now currently telling female stories.
Yeah.
Through Global
Girl
right?
Media,
Tell us about
yes. It's a project that is a partnership between two NGOs, Global Girl Media and Brave, and their main aim is to basically give girls out in the rural areas a voice and to be able to tell their own stories in their villages and the challenges that they go through. So this particular project, we were in Samburu County, and we were working with the Samburu Girls Foundation, and they are rescued from, some of them suffer from early marriages, FGM, lack of education. So it's a way of educating them and trying to merge girls' rights and conservation, and at the same time train them how to shoot these stories so that they can be seen by the world out there. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was maybe like 24 years ago this September, the World Conference on Women in Beijing. It was a historic conference. It was really, really powerful and really big. And one of the critical areas that they were focusing on, I think, was women in leadership and, you know, women in decision-making positions. It's like, yeah, you guys can be cleaners, but no one's really in the boardroom, right? So those are one of the issues that, you know, they really wanted to talk about, and to set up this platform for action and for change, and, you know, with this incredible roadmap to try and solve these issues and these problems. So there's so many different things that people are trying to do. So I am trying to figure out, Mugambi and Brian and Alice, what are you guys trying to do through this act to talk about vital and key issues affecting us as Kenyans?
I'll be very honest. Sometimes when we're in the middle of making the film, we're still not crystal clear what that film is about. Now, we knew that we were making a film about a really stressed out young man that's having to deal with some really heavy issues. But the moment we had our first test screening, I remember one person saying, "Oh my goodness, I'm so glad, and it's so refreshing to see a film that deals with the issue of mental health, specifically mental health of men." And I was like, "Oh wait, hold on, that's not what we sort of knew we were playing in that space, but no one had actually ever put it that way." And now that's what we're hearing people say a lot. So this is a film definitely whose time has come, that's dealing with issues that we need to be speaking about. And there's, I won't mention his name, but there's one person I saw, one gentleman who actually left the theater today with tears in his eyes and said, "Thank you for telling that story, because that's a story about me as much as anyone else."
Oh,
And
wow.
That feels really good to hear.
Can you imagine how many people went and cried at home? Think about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, a lot cried in the cinema.
A lot
which
of
I'm
them.
happy about. Yeah, it's and I think film needs to be able to have us feel things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what film does. And I think that's why it feels so unjust when you're taxed so much, because you're just trying to tell our stories while entertaining and educating, right, the public.
Thank you.
It's like those guys who are demonstrating for the, you know, for the police salaries, and then the cops are the ones who are so like, I don't think you get how this works. And mental health, yes, it is a conversation that needs to be tabled, and this is nationally. So, Brian, have you ever had to deal with, you know, this writer's block, or creative block, as you call it? And, you know, a lot of creatives go through this very difficult period. And what did you have to do to get out of it?
I feel like being an actor in itself is a tough thing, and you like, just in general, it's a tough thing, and you have to burrow in and just like sink your teeth for you to accept that this is going to be tough, it's going to take time, but eventually, if I put my mind to it, it's just going to change. Yeah. So I've had creative blocks, but I mean, there was a time I almost quit acting. Just before 18 Hours came out, you know, that was a film that I was in. And it was just because it was really tough. And I thank God that I kept on and I plowed through. And now it's Lusala. And I am more assured of myself, not just as an individual, but as an actor, as a professional who is able to deliver consistently in front of a camera and on stage.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think what is important to notice is when someone's going through that tough period and then people tell you, lakini, Brian, si wako sawa. Ebu jione, weni mhandi, uko na huduma namba, uko, you know. They're just like, so uko na shida gani?
It's so true.
You know, so it's insane. But, you know, you guys have really outdone yourselves in this film. And you've done a lot of other commendable work, by the way, Wamboi, like now being a part of Sense8, which people need to know now.
Yes, I was part of the crew, again, camera crew, and it was an amazing experience, especially because it was an international Netflix film that was being shot here, and it's very rare you get such big productions coming into the country. But it was a fun experience. I loved the challenge.
Yeah. How proud of you of the industry right now?
Very.
Right?
Very.
Yeah.
Not to Netflix, manze.
And I wish those who were actually in control were as proud of the industry as we were.
Yeah.
Because we feel like there's still so long a way to go before we receive the kind of support that we need to tell the sort of stories that can play on an international stage.
Yeah. You know, from Nairobi Half-Life to all of these other films that you've been a part of, you like telling our stories. I mean, it's good. Is it intentional though?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not by chance?
No. We make the films, it's films by Kenyans for Kenyans. This is the most important audience for us. And then we can start thinking about other audiences. And Lusala is unique in that the other films that have been made under the One Fine Day Ginger Ink Films model have all premiered in other countries first. But Lusala is the first film, it's the 7th to come out and the last, but it's the first one that's been seen in Kenya first before going elsewhere, which we're really proud about. So those who will start coming for the actual cinema run on the 21st, which is when Lusala starts screening in cinemas around Nairobi and probably around Kenya, will be proud to know that they're the first people seeing it here.
Yeah, so talk to them, tell them to come go and watch and stuff.
Is this the camera?
Yes.
This is on? Okay, yes. So Kenyans out there, Nairobians out there, all lovers of film, even those who haven't been to the cinema in a long time, please put together what little money is required to go out and watch Lusala, because it's a film that has been made passionately by a group of people specifically for you. It starts showing at cinemas on June 21st, which is next Friday. And we're so grateful for the support and love we've received so far, including from the media. And please come out and see it and see what the hype is about and become part of the conversation.
I like how you turned to me as if like I'm the representation of media. Like I gave the stamp of approval. I am the media.
You're the one in the room right now.
Yes. No, but you know, it really is a fantastic film, and I like people who do. It's more of a passion. You know, the Rock was being honored today. I think he's grossed over $10 billion in America, and he was like, the accolades are cool and the box office, whatever's are great. But when you see people cry, change their lives, talk to family members they haven't talked to in years because of films like this, then it's all worth it. Please do go and check out Lusala. All right, so now there's so much I really wanted to ask them. As you can see, questions galore. I know too much about Brian, all the things you did in Stato. Next time, the dossier will be dropping right here, exclusively on The Trend. So tell people bye. The interview is done.
Okay.
We have an way we end interviews. You guys just walk out.
Really?
It's a new strategy.
So that's it? Okay.
Yeah, but ladies first.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
Yeah, and they have to cut walk. Excuse me, sit down. You have to wait till they go completely. Yeah, this other way, guys. This other way. One boy, yeah. You guys are doing great. You're nailing it, yes. And then you guys count to 3. 1, 2, 3, and then Brian stands first because he's taller. You're shorter. He's in order.
Hey.
Yeah, in order.
Okay.
We're gonna be back. You're watching The Trend.